And they say only two things stop you from playing. Either you go bankrupt or you die, I guess. My name is Satinder Garcha. I started playing polo quite late in life. Actually, my dad, Colonel Garcha, was in the cavalry and he was one of the highest rated players in India. He won the Arjuna award. I went to boarding school when I was 8, so I never really rode or played. So my dad said, hey, polo is a game. He played, of course, on army money and, being a cavalry officer. But he said that you play if you make your own money, and if you don't play tennis, it's cheaper. When I was 30, I had a company, I sold it, so I had an opportunity to sort of reassess my life. So we chose, my wife and I, to move to Singapore. And Singapore has a very beautiful club right in the center of the city. And a friend of mine just invited me, and I was like, hey, polo, of course, it's sort of supposedly in my DNA. Let's give it a shot. And then I just started playing a little bit and rented one horse, and then one thing led to another. And as you know, polo is a very addictive game, and they say only two things stop you from playing. Either you go bankrupt or you die, I guess. And I made my own money, and I started playing rather late in life, so at like a -2 at age 31. So now I've been playing like 15 years or 17 years. I'm 48 now. So I started like right at the very bottom, but as relatively old in life. I fluctuate. So I'm playing now, I go back every 2 days. I'm just here, like I play a game, I have a 2-day break, I take the night flight, go to Singapore, that's my home, and of course work. The Gurdwara, Bangla Sahib, chill and meditate for half an hour, 45 minutes, we did that today too. Play the game and then go home and then dissect the game. Since my dad played and all the pros, they live in my house. So next 3 hours you talk about what happened, what each one of us did right or wrong, and then next day the same thing starts all over again. Polo is a lifestyle. It's not a game you can just, like tennis, pick up a racket and play. It has a lot of infrastructure, a lot of planning, a lot of horses. It's a whole ecosystem, as you know. And it's also a very physical game. I mean, you just can't show up like half drunk and play. And so it's something, when you do, you have to follow a pretty strict lifestyle in terms of health. And it keeps you sort of disciplined way of life, I think, which is important for everyone, and keeps your mind sharp. I think it's not directly in the sense that I'm not doing business with polo people and got me a new deal or something. But I think any sport, whether it's polo or anything you do consistently in your life and you're focused and you do it at a high level, I guess it keeps your mind sharp and keeps you on your best version of yourself. And I have a lot of friends who sort of don't play a sport and they're all day in the business, but then they let go of everything else. And so I guess you just have to pick your poison. I play all over the world. Actually, India, I've run my team. So India is sort of almost a foreign country. I come and play, and I'm only playing polo. I go back. I have no business here. I think in terms of the game, the best way to improve the system of any game is just to play more and more at a higher level with better players who are better than you. So the best way is to have players like Chris and Mazzini, and the more who come and play with the folks in India and play better polo and more of it, you learn from your peers. And of course, access to fields, access to horses. One of the key things lacking here is, of course, that infrastructurally it's very weak. Like anything else, it's just time on the saddle, and the more time you spend on the field, the better you get. So that's it, just more of it, more access.